Hello everyone, my name is Jane and welcome to my March TBR. This is the time to decide on my TBR for March. I know that this video is a little bit early, but in March I'm participating not in one and not in two, I'm participating in 3 readathons. So I really wanted to make this TBR early because I really need to figure out what I'm going to read next month. Just need to organize it. But I'm really excited for today because I always love TBRs. And except the readathons, I also have my TBR game, the TBR of Colors. So I'm really nervous to see which prompts and colors I'm going to get. But like I said, I'm participating in a lot of readathons this month. The 2 main readathons that I'm participating in is the GlobetrotterAthon and the GreekGodAthon, and I'm also a team leader for both of those readathons. The GlobetrotterAthon was created by Kevin from What You Do About Books, and he asked me to lead one of the teams, so I'm really excited about it. And also the GreekGodAthon was created by Esme from Bookish Buddies, and she also asked me to be one of the team leaders, so I'm feeling really honored to be a team leader for both of those readathons. And except those 2, I'm also participating in the Trope-ical Readathon. I am going to be more chill about it. My main focus is the GlobetrotterAthon and the GreekGodAthon, but I also want to try and participate in the Trope-ical Readathon because I participated in the last round and I really enjoyed it. But yes, like you can understand, there is a lot going on, so I'm going to start with my TBR game and then I will get to my readathons TBR, and before that I will tell you about the books that I know that I have to read in March. The first one is Readathons by Jordan Fico. I'm reading it for the Enchanted book club. This is our pick for March and I'm really excited about it. It's supposed to be a YA fantasy and it's the first book in a duology. From what I get, it's supposed to be a really unique fantasy. Just from all the reviews that I say about this book, everyone say that this book is so unique, so it just makes me more excited to get to it. We have also the popular Readalong. I'm not sure that I will be reading one of the books for March because I'm planning to read the second one in February, and the live show for the 4th one will probably be in April, so yes, no books from this read-along. I do have also Luck of the Titanic by Stacey Lee. This is the group book for the GlobetrotterAthon, so we are reading it for the readathon and we are planning to do a live show, so I will probably have to read it for the live show, but I will talk about it when we will get to the readathons TBR. And yes, I'm really nervous about my TBR game, but I really want to understand which prompts I'm going to get, so let's start with the TBR of Colors. We are here with my TBR card, which means it's time for the TBR of Colors. The game is really simple. I have a wheel of colors. If I land on a color, I need to pick a book with this color on a cover, a good amount of it, and if I land on something else, it will probably be a prompt. I have the full explanation in my January TBR, so I will link the full playlist in the video description if you want to check it out. But yes, overall it's pretty simple, so I think that let's just start, and I'm using this app for the wheel. I'm really nervous because I do have a TBR that I want to squeeze in my TBR game. Let's go for the first spin. Oh wow, okay, so the background is like this. The rainbow means another spin. I'm going to spin again. I'm going to do not 5 spins like every month. I'm going to do 6. So now let's actually spin for the first time. Okay, black is good. I can do black. Okay, so we started good because for black I'm going to read the Readathons. You already know that I have to read it for the book club, and obviously most of the cover is black, so it works perfectly and a great start for the TBR game. So now let's spin the second spin. Yay, we got a prompt. Like you can see, I have a wheel of prompts, so I'm going to spin it and get a prompt. Okay, so the prompt that I got is continue or finish a series. I actually have a book for this prompt, so that's good. For continue or finish a series, I'm planning to continue a series and to read the second book, and I was planning to read it for the GreekGodAthon, so this is perfect. And this is Nevermore 2, Wondersmith. I'm going to read it in my native language because I read the first one in my native language, and also because the covers are really stunning. If it's not your first time here on my channel, you know that I never read middle grade, but I read the first book of Nevermore in 2021, the only middle grade that I read, and I actually really enjoyed it. I really want to continue the series and not to forget about it because I remember it was so fun, and because I have so many readathons and so many books on my TBR, middle grade reads more quickly, so I feel like this is a really good and short book to read in a readathon. Okay, so now the fourth spin. planned for pink, so I do have a book for pink, which is good. Okay, so for pink I have the main book that I plan to read for the GreekGodAthon, and this is Lore Olympus by Rachel Smith. Like you can see, half of the cover is pink, so that definitely counts. This is basically a Greek mythology retelling, but a graphic novel. Like, this graphic novel is so stunning, the illustrations here are really beautiful, and I usually don't read Greek mythology retellings, but this is the only one on my TBR, so obviously I really want to read it in the GreekGodAthon. Now let's go for the fourth spin. I always hate getting orange, but okay, orange it is. So for orange, I'm going to pick a book that I already picked a few months ago, also for orange, in my TBR game. I just didn't read it yet, but this is another short graphic novel, and this is Stargazing by Jen Wong. This is also translated to my native language, and the illustrations are really cute. And basically, this is a middle grade about two girls that are becoming friends, and both of them are weird, but that's why they're becoming friends, or something like this, and it just looks really sweet. And again, it's short, and I need short books for March. Okay, so now it's the fifth spin. It was supposed to be the last one, but we do have another one, so let's go for the fifth one. Blue is good. I love blue because I have so many books in blue. Blue is a really easy color, and I already have a book planned for blue. And this is The Coldest Touch by Isabel Sterling. I read This Witch Has Done Born by Isabel Sterling. It was a duology, and I loved it. And this is her new release. I'm really excited about it because this is a contemporary fantasy, which I love, but this is about vampires, and I'm not sure when was the last time that I read something about vampires, but I really want to. And I just really enjoy This Witch Has Done Born, so I have high expectations for this one. But I'm really excited, and I will probably read it in audiobook because I read This Witch Has Done Born in audiobook, and the writing worked really good for audiobook, so I might give it a chance in audiobook so I can also finish it faster. Okay, so now we're in the sixth spin. Let's see if it will actually be the last one. Also, the background here isn't good. I actually only now realized that I didn't remove the colors that we already got, which I usually do, but we didn't got any color twice, which is good. What I got isn't a prompt, it's a genre. Like you can see here, I also have a wheel of genres, so I'm going to spin it now. Okay, I do want to read more horror this year, so it's good that I have a prompt that will actually make me read more horror. And lastly, for horror, I'm going to pick the shortest horror that I have on my TBR. This is The Taking of Jake Livingstone by Ryan Doggels. This is a 2021 release, and I do want to read my 2021 releases before they won't be new releases anymore. And this is basically a YA horror story about a boy that sees ghosts. And in the beginning of the story, there is a shooting in a school, and then the boy sees one of the children that were killed in this shooting, and he can speak to him because he sees ghosts. I usually really enjoy YA horror because I feel like it's not trying to be too much scary and too much gore, and for me it's usually the perfect amount of horror that I love, but I'm really not sure what to expect from this book because usually I really love the atmospheric kind of horrors, and I'm not sure how atmospheric this book is going to be, but I really want to give it a chance, and it's really short, which is perfect for Readathons. So now we got to my Readathons TBR, and I think that I'm going to start with the GreekGodAthon. Basically, like I said, this Readathon was created by Esme from Bookish Buddies. I will link all the details in the video description. It's a full month Readathon that is based on Greek gods. I'm basically the leader of the Aphrodite team. So if you want to pledge Aphrodite and to join me in my team, it will be really amazing. Basically, there is, I think, 12 or 14 gods, and all of the gods are separated into two teams. Aphrodite is in the Chaos team, and basically every god has a prompt and a power, and if you complete your prompt, you will get the most amount of points. If you complete the prompts from your team, you will get also more points, and you can do the prompts from the other team, but you will get a little bit of points. So I'm going to try and complete all of the prompts of the Chaos team. Aphrodite prompt is true love, read a romance. I feel like it's fitting for Aphrodite, and every god has also a special power. So for Aphrodite, it's Aphrodite's rose. Seduce a god and steal their prompt to replace one in your team. It means that I can replace one of the prompts in the Chaos team and still get the full amount of points. So let me share my TBR for the GreekGodAthon, and you will see how I'm planning to use my special power. So the first prompt of the Chaos team is my prompt, Aphrodite, True Love, Read a Romance. And for this, I'm going to read You Brought Me the Ocean by Alex Stange and Julie Marrow. This is another graphic novel, and this is a LGBTQ+ story. It's a male romance, and we're following a teenager that lives in the desert, but he really loves to swim in the ocean. Just something like this. It's pretty short, and again, it's a graphic novel, and I am planning to read it for a prompt for the GlobetrotterAthon, but it works also for the Aphrodite prompt, so I'm really excited about it. Now, the next prompt is Iris, War on Words. Read the book with war. Now, for this prompt, I'm going to use my special power, and I will seduce Hermes from the control team, from the other team, and Hermes' prompt is The Flying Messenger. Read a short book. And for this, I'm going to read Lore Olympus by Rachel Smith. I already said it in my TBR game, but this is the only book on my TBR that is a Greek mythology retelling, so I feel like this is the most fitting thing to read in the GreekGodAthon. I got this book gifted from Femka, so Femka, thank you so much, and it will be a really short read because graphic novels reads really quickly, so it's definitely a short read. The next prompt is the prompt of Artemis, and this is The Hunt. Read a highly anticipated book. For this, I'm going to read The Raybearer because you already know that I have to read it, and it's definitely an anticipated read. I already got also the second book of the duology, so I have the duology already for a few months because I do think that I'm really going to like it. I just heard that it's so unique and so different from other YA fantasies, so I'm really intrigued to see what is going to happen in this book. The next prompt is Hades, Dead as a Doornail. Read a book with the undead. For this, I'm planning to read The Coldest Touch by Isabel Sterling. I picked to read this book in March because of this prompt, because vampires are the undead, so I feel like this is a really good chance to get to this book and to read it because I'm really excited about it, and I do think that I'm really going to love it. The next prompt is the prompt of Hephaestus, Forge Ahead, Read a Sequel. And I already said it in my TBR game because I literally got the same prompt, but I'm going to read Nevermore, Wondersmith by Jessica Townsend. I just looked for a quick sequel to read, and this is definitely one that I'm really excited for, and one that I really hope that I will love. The next prompt is Poseidon, and this is Endless Ocean. Read a book with water elements. For this, I'm going to read The Luck of the Titanic by Stacey Lee. You already know that I'm planning to read it for the GlobetrotterAthon because this is the book for the live show, and this is basically historical fiction that is set on the Titanic, and I love things that are set in water and in the ocean, and things that are set on ships, and basically we're following Chinese passengers on the Titanic. The main character is a woman that is trying to go to America to be a performer in a circus or something like this, and it's about the Titanic, so for me it's already a good reason to read it. And the last prompt for the Chaos team is Zeus, Lightning Quick. Read the cover by book. So for this, I'm going to read How to Love Your Neighbor by Sophie Sullivan. This is a new release. I pre-ordered it and I only got it not a long time ago, and I'm really excited to read it. Now, for me it's a cover by because I love those romance covers, those illustrations, I really love it. And when I saw it, I stopped because I love interior design, and when I saw her painting the word, it looked so cute and I really wanted to check it out. And basically we're following after a woman. This woman is an interior designer, and she got an opportunity to get a beach house that she can renovate by herself, and if she will do it, she will get this house. So it sounds like the perfect opportunity for her until her neighbor is someone that she really hates. So it just sounds to me like enemies to lovers. I feel like it will be a really fun book to read in March, and I'm also really excited about it. And yes, those were all the prompts for the GreekGodAthon. And now I will get to my GlobetrotterAthon TBR. Like he said, this readathon was created by Kevin from What You Do About Books. This readathon is really cool because it's basically based on traveling the world. Your goal is to read as much books from different countries and from different continents. So this is such a cool concept, and basically I'm going to lead the fairy team. Basically every group has 4 prompts, and in addition to that there is also 4 bonus prompts that I am planning to finish, and there is more bonus prompts that are based on how many continents and how many countries you are reading. Now I really tried not to pick only books from the US because apparently most of my books are from the US, and I managed to pick some. It isn't ideal. I will try to read more divorced reading when the readathon will actually start, but this is currently my TBR that I'm planning. Now let's start for the prompts for the fairy team. The first prompt is blue cover. And I'm going to pick the same book that I picked for the blue prompt in my TBR game. And this is The Coldest Starch by Isabel Sterling. And yes, you already know how much I'm excited about this book. The second prompt is a water word, something with a water-related word in the title. And this is the prompt for You Brought Me the Ocean. This is the reason that I picked this graphic novel, and obviously it has ocean in the title. Now the next prompt is Slow Waters, a slower book or set close to water. So obviously you already know that I am planning to read Luck of the Titanic because of this readathon, and I'm really excited. And obviously it's in the Titanic. The whole plot takes place in a ship in the middle of the ocean, so it's definitely set close to waters. And the last prompt for the fairy theme is Relaxation. Read a comfort book. For me, graphic novels are definitely a comfort read. So for this, I'm going to read Lore Olympus because I want to read it for the GreekGodAthon, and it's a graphic novel and I love graphic novels. And we have also bonus prompts, and I am doubling up with some of the main prompts. The first bonus prompt involves travel. So I'm going to double up with the Luck of the Titanic because basically the Titanic is traveling to America, so it definitely includes traveling. The next prompt is about a minority group, and I'm going to read You Brought Me the Ocean because this is an LGBTQ+ story, so this is considered as a minority group. Now the next prompt is really interesting. This is a cover that includes all the colors of the country flag. Like I said, everything is based on countries, and the goal is for you to read as much countries as you can. This bonus prompt is to pick a book that represents a country, and this book needs to have the colors of the country that this book represents on the cover for this prompt to count. Now, Ray Bearer, basically, it counts also as the US, but it also counts for Nigeria because the author of the story is an American Nigerian, a Nigeria flag in the colors of green and white. And I asked Kevin to make sure that this counts because there is a lot of green here and the lettering is white, so any amount of the color will count for this prompt. So I'm planning to read it for this prompt because it represents Nigeria and there is the colors of the Nigerian flag on the cover, so that's really exciting. And the last bonus prompt is a translated book. For this I'm going to read Nevermore Wondersmith because it's in my native language. It was translated from English to my native language and I am reading the translated version. Now the thing is that also in this readathon, except the goal of trying to read as many countries as you can, there is one rule, and this rule is that the first book that you are reading for the readathon has to be something that is related to your country where you are living. Only for the first book you can count the language, not the other books, only the first one. So basically if I read something in the language of where I'm living, it can count as a book that is related to where I'm living. So I'm planning to read it in the beginning of March to count it as the first book of the readathon. So it's also a translated book for the bonus part, but it also accomplished the rule of reading something that is related to your country for the first book. So like you can see, I doubled up all the books in a really good way. Like all the books works for both of the readathons, which is amazing. And yes, now let's get quickly over my Trope-ical Readathon TBR. Like you know, I already have 2 readathons that I'm participating in, and those readathons are my main focus for March because I'm also a team leader there and I do want to really be active in those readathons. But I already participated in the Trope-ical Readathon in the past and it was really fun, so I do want to participate in it again this year, but I'm going to do it really chill. I'm not really planning a TBR. Like you can see here, those are all of the prompts, and I did manage to fit some of the books that are currently on my TBR for those prompts, but I won't go over each one of the prompts because this video will be really long. So this is just the books that I'm currently planning to read, but this is the readathon that I will just try to complete as I go, and I will try to match the prompts to the books that I actually read. So this readathon I'm going to do really chill. So finally, this is my official March TBR. All the books that I'm planning to read this March. I have 9 books, which is a lot. 3 of them are graphic novels, and most of the rest are pretty quick reads. Like I have romance and a middle grade and contemporaries. So overall, it's a pretty easy TBR. And yes, I'm so excited that now I actually have a clue what I'm going to read next month. I feel like I organized all the readathons really good, and most of the books again are short and more easier to read. So I'm really excited about this readathons. Kevin and Esme, thank you so much for asking me to be a team leader. I'm just so excited for the readathons, to be a part of it, and I'm just also excited about March. All the details for the readathons will be in the video description, so please check those readathons out. And yes, I really hope that you enjoyed my March TBR. Please tell me if you read one of those books and what do you think about it. And yes, I will see you in the next video. Bye everyone!